putting nitrogen in the strut. We're supposed to be 2.5 inches on the strut showing there, and we've tried doing what the service manual said, which was not jacking it up and just putting pressure on it. But as John Hess said, it's almost impossible to do that because it sits here and doesn't move, and then all of a sudden it takes off and goes 5 times farther than you wanted it to. So what we're doing, per John, and it seems to be working pretty good, is we're jacking the airplane up to our 2.5 inches, and then we're putting about 350 pounds of pressure on it to get it to stay there. And it worked perfect on the one landing gear, so we're going to try to do it on this one as well. So we'll see how it goes here.
You got a tape measure. We need to add 350. About 1 3/4 now. It's 2.5.
All right. So at that point, we'll just let it back down and see if it stays there. And then we're going to go over here and turn off the gas. And then shake the wing and see what happens.
Let me wipe it down real quick. Give me a second.
So now what we're doing is jacking it up as high as we can with our little jack. That's probably good. And then after we jack it up, we're letting it back down just to make sure it doesn't go down lower than our 2.5 inches that we're supposed to have in it. And it's really the service manual says to just shake the wing up and down, but the airplane's so heavy that it sits and laughs at you while you're trying to.
That's a lot higher.
Well, the other one was too until we.
3 3/4.
All right, well, after everything's said and done, the 350 pounds of pressure on both of these, after we jacked it up, ended up working out perfect on the main landing gear. Now, the next thing that you have to do is on the tail wheel. We had to, the manual calls for letting all of the air out of the tail wheel and letting it go all the way down, and then pumping it up until you get 3 inches of clearance on it. The problem is that on the tail wheel, we had to jack it up again to get it up to the 3 inches that we need, because no matter how much air we put in it, up to about 700 pounds, it wasn't moving the tail. So we jacked it up the same as we did the main, and we ended up putting about 500 pounds instead of 350. We had to go up to about 500 pounds to get it to hold the 3 inches. But other than that, it was pretty much the same as the main gear. We just had to put a little bit more pressure on it. And that's got all of the landing gear done.